could you sing to her happy birthday? She turned 75 on Friday, and we wanted to call in, but you were off. Her name is Deborah K. Beery. We call her Debbie.
I'm about to do it right now because we're up against a hard out.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Debbie. Happy birthday to you.
And many, many, many more blessed birthdays for Miss Debbie. The Bills are trying to find their blessing known as the Super Bowl. Can they do it this way and finally get it that one way? That's next on Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The post-career day press conference brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed. And I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
News now on 102.7 The Game.
Reporting for Cromwell Media News, I'm Rob Nichols. Governor Andy Beshear says all SNAP benefits for November are now processed to Kentucky. The governor announced the payments are loaded to recipient cards Saturday. State employees worked into the night on Friday to make sure the money got to those enrolled in the program. According to Beshear, the payments were delayed due to the federal government shutdown. A Hardin County man is in custody, accused of physically abusing an infant. The local sheriff's office says Zachary Foster was arrested in connection with an investigation that launched October 28th. Authorities received a report that a baby had been significantly injured. No additional details have been made available so far. President Trump is taking aim at Indiana State Republican lawmakers over stalled redistricting efforts. In a Truth Social post Sunday, Trump called out Senators Rod Bray and Greg Good, saying he was very disappointed. The president added the lawmakers could do their job and do it now, or let's get them out of office ASAP. This comes after Bray said Friday there are not enough votes to move forward with the plan that the Indiana Senate will be reconvening in December. And the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles says all offices will be closed for Thanksgiving from Thursday the 27th through Saturday the 29th. Regular hours resume Monday, December 1. They announced the holiday schedule recently. Anyone who has a registration expiring on the 28th is asked to take care of that before the Thanksgiving closure. I'm Rob Nichols reporting.
Carpets Unlimited.
Since 1969, Carpets Unlimited has been providing the best quality flooring at the lowest price. We keep over 2 million square feet of flooring in stock at our showrooms in Evansville, Owensboro, and Bowling Green. Great selection, the lowest prices, and our service is impeccable. So the next time you need flooring for your home or your business, stop by, call, or visit us on Facebook. Carpets Unlimited. Nobody has more and nobody sells for less.
This is what Kentucky basketball sounds like. We are here to win. The road to number 9 lives here.
This is UK head coach Mark Pope, and you're listening to the home of the Wildcats.
102.7 The Game. And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Here's your 14 first alert forecast. For the overnight hours, showers and thunderstorms. Some may produce small hail with a low of 44. On Tuesday, cloudy with rain during the day, a high of 66. Then rain ending on Tuesday night with a low of 48. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy, still mild with a high of 62. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 first alert forecast.
8th edition product.
From the Floor Concept Studios, ESPN Radio, all sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader, 102.7 WLME, Lewisport, 102.7 The Game.
Sir, it's Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor? Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner here in the Floor Concept Studios, joined by Coach Vic Evans.
What's going on, man?
Well, I made it over here. Busy Monday out there.
It's been a busy Monday.
Yeah, nice weather out there. Looks like they're going to have some storms blowing in tomorrow, and fastest hour in football today. We are going to sprinkle a little basketball into the conversation after a Wesleyan weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got high school, obviously, college in the middle. We'll finish with NFL on the back end and try to keep that to a minimum today. It's a tough Monday to be a Vikings fan.
You got more NFL action tonight with the Raiders and the Cowboys on Monday Night Football that will follow beyond the bench.
Just intrigue everywhere in that.
Well, I mean, we'll get to see what Dallas's new defense looks like.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I can't trash any team.
I mean, in the NFC, I think everybody's alive still for the most part, except for maybe the Vikings and, Cardinals.
The Vikings have a better record than the Cowboys.
But their division is going to be a lot tougher than ours is.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. We'll talk through it later on. But download the Owensboro radio app. Listen anywhere in the world. Follow along out there on social media. You can actually stream it out there on social media, courtesy of Legendary Pool and Spa. We're also streaming on YouTube, so you can subscribe there or in iTunes, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast. You can text us to the show, 270-903-0389, and we got to dive in several high school results to discuss and some playoff pictures crystallizing a little bit. We've only been talking about this for about a month and a half, so you start to see some of this piece together. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. It's a big college football weekend as well. Had some big college football results mixed in. But like I say, download that Owensboro radio app. You're going to need it Friday night. Some big games upcoming across the Cromwell family of networks. We start to get into the deep waters of the playoffs, and we'll start on WVJS, where the Dan and Dave show is over at Rash Stadium on Friday night. It was a game that I think a lot of the state kind of had eyes on, because I think there's a lot of the state, I think outside of Owensboro, that really just doesn't believe in the Owensboro Red Devils, honestly. They keep waiting for the misstep.
I'll say this, look at I always talk about being a voter for the KSR poll, and the average voter at the KSR poll has Owensboro still somewhere in the bottom teens.
Yeah, it's fine.
And that's fine.
You're uneducated. That's why that KSR poll, man.
I know, but it's something fun. I mean, they do have, at least they do people have throughout the entire state.
Yeah.
But you saw also on a lot of the message boards and stuff like that, them talking about how that was going to be a good game. And we kept telling people this is going to be just maybe, you actually had to score perfect.
They got on to me. They got on to me because I had it 49-14.
Okay.
Originally, and they were like, "Man, that's crazy." Even the Owensboro fans were like, "Man, that's kind of crazy." And I was
probably
like,
should have been 49.
You know what? The more I thought about it, like the Greenwood could probably run the ball enough to keep Owensboro's offense off the field. I'll make it 42-14.
And you're right on.
And there it was.
But it should have probably been 49-14. Owensboro turned the ball over a couple times.
49-7.
Yeah,
it was the punt. The snapped
over the head. And I think Owensboro dominated that game like they were supposed to. And I'm here to. I've been saying it for forever. They're winning the state title, and they're doing it by 14 or more points. I told Ganaway that on Friday Night Lights Out.
Yeah, it's one game at a time, really. But I agree. They're the team to beat in 5A. I think we've kind of seen that crystallize for some time now, and it really starts at the quarterback position for me. I say that it really starts with the defense for me. I think that's what sets Owensboro apart in 5A until I'm proven otherwise.
Yeah, Woodford's got a big high-powered offense. Scott does, but I just don't see them having the same defense as this Owensboro team. It's loaded at all levels.
Yeah, I don't see a defense in 5A. It's complementary to the explosiveness of this offense. I mean, DeMarc Jr., he threw more touchdowns than incompletions. That's been something. We have a blessing of quarterbacks in this area. I mean, just incredible quarterback play. At the top, it's the best we've ever seen. There's just no question.
There's not close.
With Max and Jet, and then, of course, DeMarc Jr. and Dramel Carruthers. I mean, it is an absolute just loaded quarterback group around
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Then you even go below than that. We got the Brown kid from Tell City that had a nice year, and I know he's a different quarterback, but Bayer over in Tell City or Brown at South Spencer. Bayer at Tell City, like a different type of quarterback.
He got a pretty good backup quarterback in JT Edge.
Spitzer
300 yards.
and Brett County. I mean, this is by far and away as deep as it's ever been.
Yeah, it's the deepest. And, 19 of 23, 353 yards for DeMarcus Ganaway Jr. on Friday night. And the most underrated, I'm done saying one of them. He's the most underrated player in Kentucky is King Dillard. I mean, that's just all there is to it. 7 catches, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't quite get in the end zone every 2.5 catches this time, though. I mean, he fell short of his season average of 2.5 catches in the end zone.
Listen, he's an all-state first-teamer. They're just, and you can't convince me otherwise.
No way. Look at those numbers. Look at the yards per reception.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it works.
And then you got the younger guys. Bryant's coming on. He caught 2 touchdowns. Fountain receiving touchdown. Evan Hampton got it done for 76 yards and a touchdown. And I think that's what Greenwood did on Friday night is they came out and said, hey, we're going to do everything we can do to take away Evan Hampton.
Good luck.
And if the pass, you have to pick your poison, right? Mm-hmm. And the poison was DeMarc Jr. in that passing offense.
Right.
So, and Hampton still got 76 in a score.
Even playing with new footballs that they had never practiced or played with.
Right. That's an interesting story, the Spalding football story.
Well, see, we used to deal that with baseball. Like, baseball during the regular season, you could get the ball that you wanted to play with, but when you got to the postseason, you had to play with the Rawlings ball. Now, I was a big fan of the Wilson A10-10 ball at that time, as I thought was the best ball. We would play with that for about 3/4 of the season, but we had bought a few dozen for pitchers to throw bullpens and stuff with. And then in the last 2 weeks of the season, we played with that baseball. And not only that, one reason too is because the Rawlings were outrageously priced.
Well, I mean, I just never knew it was, it's just a weird thing.
NCAA basketball, UK talked about doing that, with the Nike ball and the Adidas ball and all the other balls that are out there.
Well, I mean, whatever ball you need, Owensboro dominated this football game. Rooney, Ashley, Hampton with 10 tackles each. Jalen Carr had an interception, and Owensboro punches their ticket to the 3rd round, and they will take on Fairdale at Rash this week. Don't fall into the trap of looking at the bracket thinking they play Bowling Green.
No, it's Fairdale, RPI.
It's Fairdale this week as RPI comes in, and they'll be heavily favored in that
Can I make a prediction already? They're going to have a running clock before the first half's over with.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Yeah, it's just about handling your business, staying healthy, and keeping everybody ready for that big Week 4 matchup, whoever that may be. Before we get into that really quickly, let's go down to Bowling Green and talk a little Bowling Green and Apollo. Eagles fall short 52-27. It was a game that was 38-21 with about 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So it got away from the Eagles. I think they just wore down a little bit
defensively. They could never come up with a stop against Bowling Green. We felt like offensively, and we even said that when we were talking about, when we were given the hypothetical pass of Apollo making a really deep run, we knew Bowling Green was going to be a tough thing, but it was all about they could score on them. He's never good get any stops.
Yeah, and would give JT a lot of credit, coming in and playing quarterback, and he's kind of the heart and soul of that defense too. So it's a lot on his plate. He threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bratcher, 9 catches, 158 yards and 2 scores. Very underrated kid in his aspect as well. In the season,
rewriting the Apollo record book.
Yeah, that's an incredible season from Bratcher. I mean, just did it week in and week out. Eli Williams caught a touchdown there as well. And I thought it was, a good season from Apollo. I mean, at the end of the day, you went down to Bowling Green with some house money. You kept the clock from running. And in years past, this is a matchup that's, you got away from you. Mm-hmm. You got a playoff win. It's just
you got the first playoff win since 2005. It's a successful season.
I agree. No, I agree. And I think, there's going to be some turning the page in that roster. And you guys could probably talk about it more tomorrow. I know Dave will be with you tomorrow for Live at 5. You'll give away players of the year and whatnot to kind of close the book on the Apollo season. But anytime you got a player like Max Johnson returning, you're going to have a pretty good opportunity to be good again. So, and Coach Edge does a tremendous job there for the Eagles. And, the season ends, but Bowling Green will move on. They'll be at Atherton, which to me,
that's the best matchup.
I don't know.
Scott County, Woodford.
I don't know if it is. I mean, I have no idea. Again, it's hard to gauge Atherton. And Bowling Green has played it's the polar opposite. Mm-hmm. It's like you want to penalize Bowling Green because they've lost some games, but they played an insane schedule, probably the best schedule in Kentucky.
Right up there with Trinity and some of the other ones, but,
It definitely, I think, the best schedule in 5A.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
You look at Atherton, and they played no one. So it's like it's
well, they played Manual.
Yeah, and they played and they did destroy North Oldham late in the season. So that they're my biggest question mark. I mean, I'm not trying to take a shot at them. I don't know about them.
I'll say this too.
I think it's hard for me to gauge. I know they've got dudes.
Not the easiest place to go play in. I've been up there calling a couple games with Owensboro in the past.
There's some bad blood there too.
You're down there in the kind of the pit, that little, down there in the thing, and they got the track there, and they'll, all the fans will foul on the track. It'll be interesting, and it's, especially with somebody like Bowling Green and Owensboro, you used to playing on the turf. You go up there, and it's like the old grass field. It's about half of it about dirt. It's just really, it ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it will. I think
Atherton's got dudes. Like, listen, Atherton is very talented. At times, when I've seen him in the past, a little undisciplined, but I just don't know because the schedule they play is not, it's just a different level. You're going to go in there and play with Bowling Green.
Makes it fun though when there's a little bit of unknown.
It does,
and so there was a lot of unknown in 5A. I think you saw that play out in a couple of results on Friday night. West Jessamine takes down North Laurel, which
upset.
They're at Pulaski this week, so I like Pulaski in that matchup. But West Jessamine rolling, and then of course, the one we've been looking at for a while in 5A was Scott County against Cooper, who a lot of people Cooper had been penciled in as the 5A state championship favorite, and Scott County took them to the woodshed a little
I had
bit.
Cooper all year long. I felt like we're overrated and that there was something not right. And I know they lost to some good teams, but they just weren't playing great football. And we mentioned on Live at 5 here, maybe are the Chiefs just waiting for the playoffs to get here. But unlike the Chiefs, they couldn't flip the switch. And the important game to look at if you're an Owensboro fan, if you win, if Pulaski wins, you're going to get the winner of Woodford-Scott County coming to Rash.
Yeah.
All right. If Pulaski was to get upset, Owensboro would get West Jessamine.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. So that's definitely the way to watch the scoreboard on Friday night. Now, Scott County and Woodford played a 57-50 game in the regular season.
Yes.
So get ready for some fireworks in that one. And Dave texted in on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line and said they've moved the game Bowling Green Atherton to Wagner.
Oh, okay.
Turf.
I got on the turf.
I think that's an advantage. I say that. I mean, Wagner's got athletes everywhere, but I think that helps Bowling Green.
They'd have much better if they played down there in that
muck it up.
Muck it up down there, man. I love down there in that field. You were calling a game, you couldn't see it was hard to see the yard markers and the lines. I should have played it there.
I think the Devils and Pulaski are heavily favored Friday night. Other than that, those other two games are a toss-up.
I totally agree. I think Pulaski will handle West Jessamine. I think the Devils, I've already said. I think Woodford-Scott can go any way, and I think Bowling Green Atherton can go any way. I guess Moneybags up there at Atherton, Jack, helped move the game over.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar.
The rapper that was in the new White Man.
Jack Harlow.
I couldn't think of his last name. Harlow's an Atherton guy, man.
Okay, I got you.
Harlow got him over playing on turf in the playoffs.
Fair enough. Atherton's a little out of Harlow's a little out of my range of music, but that's okay.
I know him more from the remake of White Men Can't Jump than I do any of his music.
That's a tragedy. I mean, it's like that's what tragedy. That's what Hollywood does. They take great movies and they make them terrible.
Yeah, it was nowhere near.
Why would you ever remake that?
You shouldn't have.
Never.
No, never.
It's just like remaking Point Break.
Yes,
just an abomination.
No. Have they remade Point Break?
Yes.
Did they really?
Yeah, don't talk about it.
Oh, man.
It's upsetting me.
I've never seen that one. I've never seen the remake.
If they've remade anything in Hollywood, it's crap.
Correct.
The remake, The Running Man's out now. I shouldn't even be promoting it because it's garbage. Like, I don't care even if it's a decent movie, it's garbage.
It's
because
not
it's not Arnold.
Yeah. Come on.
It's not Arnold. They say it's more accurate to the book. It's not Arnold, though. That's all you really need to know. Let's move it over. I don't know how we got there. Let's move it to 2A with Owensboro Catholic. They take down Crittenden County 50-14. And we said the game within the game was how Catholic's defense would respond to Crittenden County. I mean, it's a pretty good passing attack. That's a well-coached team.
Yes.
Crittenden County runs good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic absolutely dominated
them.
Yeah,
I think I was
dominated them.
I think I gotten done with the Westland game, and I was driving over here, and I think it was right about half or somewhere around there, and you were saying something like they were 1 of 16 for 13 yards in the first half or something crazy.
Yeah, they held them in it was 40-0 Catholic, and Crittenden had 15 total yards of offense.
Yeah, total domination. And now it's going to be – and this defense is – we talked about this, and I don't think a lot of people throughout the know other than us saying this, is like they are just now healthy. Like they're starting first team defense and the starting first team offense that was going to start the season are just now playing together. Mm-hmm. And I think you're seeing that on the defense that's playing much, much better.
Yeah, Barrett Evans was an animal. He was unblockable.
Well, he tried to come back early in the season. Yeah. He wasn't completely healthy, got re-hurt again. Now. And then he did the right thing. I'm going to sit out for as long as I had to get 100% healthy. And then you put him with Concrete on that front four, front three, whatever. Sometimes they run four, sometimes they run three.
This week.
It's dominate.
And Whitledge.
It'll probably be four this week with Somerset coming in with the quarterback Hughes.
JJ in the middle, kind of fielding a little for Concrete. They were Swinford rolling in and out, and Swinford I thought played really well. Reese Sims played well. Of course, Jude Evans was everywhere. He forced a safety. That was a safety, Crittenden County.
And here's what's funny. I was looking at this on the stat sheet when I was trying to get the player of the game. Like I think it was 10 of their top 11 tacklers in this playoff game are all juniors or younger. Like, they do lose some key pieces, but the one thing they've gotten it done is they've really built some really good depth for future years.
With Jude Evans, and then Noah Grant played his best game on defense that I've seen. I mean, he just was right there the whole first quarter. Jude Cecil on the Howard kid, 1,000-yard receiver, 17 touchdowns, clamped. I mean, I think Jude.
He's underrated.
Jude had a penalty. And other than that, he clamped him. I mean, like I said, they had 15 total. That kid had one catch for 5 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
You're talking about a receiver that's 1,200-yard receiver, 17 touchdowns. He had one catch for 5 yards. So, I think the defense passed the test, including Whitledge. You didn't mention him, but he was matched up with him some too. High-level football from the Aces defense. And offensively, maybe it wasn't as sharp. You can't be perfect every week.
I can't throw more touchdowns and incompletions every week.
But you still scored 50, to be clear. I just want to be clear on that. Dramel, 237 passing yards, 5 more touchdowns, no interceptions again. He hasn't thrown one since.
And then Luke Thomas had a monster game, and you put with what Woodward's doing and what Maddox has done all year, and it goes back to the same thing.
Ebelhair had a great game. First play of the game, 50-yard touchdown down the sideline.
Thomas is a guy that was hurt early in the year with coming to a new school, new quarterback, missed out on some reps. And now he's playing great football.
Yeah, and I thought they ran the ball well. The number of guys they rotate in to run it. You got Miles Edge, who's obviously the bell cow, but Jude, and you got the James kid, and then Shaden Mitchell was back in the mix this week.
I was looking at the stat, 8 guys
They got Nick Sims with a touchdown carry. Everybody was getting a touchdown carry at Steel on Friday night.
I'm not saying that. I do think, if you look and say, okay, if they beat Somerset, you look at it, unless there's a massive upset on the East, if Catholic beats Somerset, they're getting Beechwood here on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Belfry will go to the winner of Lexington Catholic Mayfield. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying, but I think the one thing that they have different than they've had the last 2 years when they went to Kroger against Mayfield and also last year against Beechwood is this offensive line. It's not going to be where we just have to beat you throwing the football or Brady running. They can line up and run the football when, you've seen, the last 2 years at Kroger early, they get a turnover real quick because you can't. They had to throw the football. They couldn't run it against anybody. This team, I think, even if you do well to stop the pass, I do think this team will be able to run the football better against the best teams in 2A than they have the last 2 years.
Yeah, to be honest, I think those last 2 teams could have ran it too. You said they couldn't run it. I think it was more of we are the high-powered offense. And now, granted, I think when you get in, if it gets to that, right? Because I'm not overlooking Somerset.
That's a great. They're 10-1 or 11-1 coming in.
Yeah, and they've won. That was week 1. They haven't lost since. They did struggle with Danville a little bit. One thing that gives me pause about the Briar Jumpers, which is the best nickname in KHSAA.
It is.
The Briar Jumpers. One thing that gives me pause is the passing defense. And so even if you're able to shorten the game with Hughes and run the football, Catholic is going to score.
Well, that's kind of what happened last year. They did short it, but at some point in time, they held up for a little bit, but then they hit a couple big plays, scored touchdowns. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But
I'm ready for it. It's Monday. I'm already ready for Friday.
Oh, I am too.
And I think I've been starved for some good football. It's been a little while. I haven't had a good game in about a month and a half.
Yeah,
so got a lot of Chris Riley singing. If you listen to the broadcast, and maybe people love that. I mean, I'm sure Catholic
fans do because it's just
they're dancing at home up 50-0.
It's like putting in the human cigar. You know, when you put him in at the guy at the end of when Riley starts singing like Monday Night
Football. Not the fat lady singing. It's Chris Riley and the professor.
You remember
singing.
Dandy Don used to do that on Monday Night Football, you know, where he would sing, "Turn out the lights, the party's over."
Yeah, and maybe that'll be the song this week. Tune in and we'll see. But Somerset will win by way of a victory over Danville, and you got Prestonburg. They're playing Beechwood over there in the East, and then Mayfield will match up with LCA, and they hammered the Hornets. You know, I'm surprised it wasn't a little closer, but at the same time, Mayfield's a machine. I think a lot of people around the state are kind of sleeping on Mayfield a little bit, which is crazy. I don't know why you would. But this matchup Friday, man, should be a great one, Matt. They have to go to LCA this time.
Yeah, the last 2 years has been the other way.
A couple times. So that's formed into a great playoff rivalry, and I think if you're a high school football fan, it's about as good as it gets.
It's a little bit of that Douglas-Owensboro where they had to play 4 straight years. Theirs was in the state semis. This will be the third straight year I know of that these two teams have met in the third round.
And then whoever wins that, I mean, you're going to have a great one in round 4 because the winner, you know, Belfry's going to go whoever wins this game, Belfry's going there.
Belfry's going to be heavy favorites, and they're going to be cheering heavily for Lexington Christian because it cuts that trip by half.
Yeah, 100%. How about the
3/4?
We'll move it out of 2A now and go over to Henderson County where you called it, man. They handled business against McCracken 41-34, and
it was
seems to happen every year.
It's a different runner every time. Like
it
one game it's Baxter, one game it was Jack Ryan Rouge, now it was Dalton. I don't know for people that missed Coach Elliott doing Friday Night Lights Out. Great interview. You can go back and find it on the podcast on the podcast page. It was a great interview. He was tremendous. All 3 coaches were, but I just, like you said, they just have, when they go down to McCracken, Henderson plays well down there, man.
They've got their number, man. You know, I feel like that rivalry slanted in favor of the Colonels. They ran it for 246 yards, 5 scores. Jack Dalton, 137 yards, got in the end zone 4 times, and Belt, 79 yards and a touchdown. He also threw a touchdown to Avant Baxter. And they're at South Warren this week, and that's a house money game.
Yeah, well,
it's a successful year for Henderson.
Yeah,
it was a lot of questions going in. Tradition-rich program. They took a couple on the chin throughout the season, but you've won 2 playoff games.
Yep.
I mean, it's a success.
Oh, as Coach Elliott said, he goes, talking about, they're not just house money. Hey, we traveled 2.5 hours east. We went 2.5 hours west.
Yeah.
This trip to Bowling Green's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves it.
Yeah, just a little 45-minute jaunt right down the parkway. But no, good luck to Henderson this week, and we'll break that game down a little later in the week. But before we wrap up the playoff segment, we got to go over to Indiana.
Yes.
We got a little deeper water playoff games taking place over there. Heritage Hills handles Martinsville 35-19, but not without a challenge.
No, Martinsville gave all they want.
Had success throwing it around a little bit, 260 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but Winchell had the big interception on defense. And then when in doubt, you just give the ball to Jet Goldsberry.
Well, yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? They rushed it for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns as a team. Pledger was big. Jet Goldsberry, 183 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He also threw it for 131. And I got to see some highlights of this one, and Toller was big in the game, 131 receiving yards and a touchdown. A tremendous atmosphere, it looked like, over there at the Jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Not a shocker there. But they'll be on the road this week as they take on Roncalli this week, and that's a team that took down Chittard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a winnable game for Heritage Hills. And I mean, I don't want to, disrespect the other side of the bracket, but the winner of this game is your favorite in 4.
Oh, I think the
Heritage Hills win this football.
I hate to say this in a way because I don't want
Heritage Hills win this.
You've got South Bend, St. Joseph's, and Fort Wayne, Dewagner. I don't want to disrespect them. I think this is your state championship game.
Yeah, well, in a big game with the lights on, just give me the best player.
Yeah,
it's Jet Goldsberry,
and if you look at it too, you got to have this. You've got the McLaughlin kid that plays for Knox in 3A in Indiana, and he's pretty close to breaking the all-time touchdown rushing record in a season. I think he's sitting at like 67 or 68 touchdowns, and he's close to breaking Derrick Henry's single-season rushing record. The kid was averaging 340 yards per game. So if Knox got to the state finals and he averaged 260, he would break the all-time single-season rushing record. And I think him and Jet are like the two favorites for Mr. Football, and they're both in the semifinals. So if you can get a win and the other one gets beat, you kind of get a leg up on that Mr. Football talk.
Yeah, well, Jet does it on both sides at a Division I level.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, and so it's hard to dispute. I mean, we even talked about him as being our offensive and defensive player of the year because he's certainly worthy of it. And I think it's a tough matchup, honestly, against Ron Colley, but we'll see. And I'm not going to bet against Goldsberry in a big spot.
Can I say this? If we didn't pass the rule that said we're not going to allow guys on both sides of the ball, he would be the offensive and defensive player of the year.
It's one of those things where you got to get as many kids in there as you can. Yes. It's hard enough as it is.
Correct.
Honestly. You got Gibson. I want to wrap it up with Gibson Southern. They defeated Indian Creek 42-14, but really it's to highlight Zach Foster, and prayers out to Foster on a speedy recovery. Bad leg injury on Friday night. That's unfortunate, man. It
ended up being both the tibia and the fibia that he broke, and quick recoveries for him.
Yeah, and I thought all the news stations covered that well.
Yes.
They did a good job, lifting him up in prayer, and certainly want to keep him surrounded in prayer. They play Cascade this week. Changes the complexion. I mean, Foster was, right there with Goldsberry.
Right. If you look at it after that game, you've thrown for over 2,000 yards, rushed for over 1,000 yards. I mean, you've had an unbelievable season. Now, we'll see. Gibson Southern, I don't count Coach Hart out. He'll have a game plan. Cascade's undefeated. Yeah. This is like 2 versus 3 in the rankings. Memorial was number 1. These two teams pretty much all year long were 2 and 3. And
stinks, man.
It does. I wish Foster was playing, but I would not count Gibson Southern out because I still think Gibson Southern, that offensive line is really, really good and underrated. I want to lean still Gibson. I'm going to lean with my heart and go Gibson Southern in this one, baby. But I haven't made that final one.
Yeah, Cascade, man, 13-0 and looks the part.
They do.
Yeah, I checked 100%. Them out a little bit today. We'll pause it.
Wait, before we get there, one more shout out for prayers. One more person. We do a lot of shows over at Bernie's, and my good friend Schuler, his son was hurt in a car, had his leg broken. Somebody being crazy doing donuts and ended up pinning him. Lost control of the car and ended up pinning him as he was outside. So Jagger, he's got the greatest nickname or the middle name in the entire world. It's Jaggard Espin. ESPN Schuler.
Makes sense.
And so
never been to Bernie's.
Yeah, so big shout out. Get well and healthy recovery. I know he's down at Vanderbilt. I had to flight him down to Vanderbilt. Jagger, so get well.
Good hands down there, though. At least. We'll pause it for Karen Gross, Realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. Give her a call at 270-315-9810 or find her at KarenGross.net. We're going to talk a little college basketball, college football in the middle portion, live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
What distinguishes Foreman Watson Houltry from many other law firms? It's the pride we take in the communities we serve, stemming from the deep roots our attorneys have in this region. We view giving back to our hometowns as an obligation, not an option. Foreman Watson Houltry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, FWHlegal.com.
Hats, cards, home decor, jerseys, autographs, Sports Country, where every day is game day, and no one will judge you for painting your face. Sports Country, Park Plaza Drive, behind Shamey's Car Wash off Frederick Street in Owensboro. Owensboro's #1 sports fan store.
Not responsible for spontaneous in-zone dances.
It's game on every weekday from 5 to 8 in the morning with Unsportsmanlike. Brought to you by Floor Concepts. Catch Evan, Canty, and Michelle breaking down the biggest stories, the boldest takes, and the realest reactions only on 102.7 The Game. Your home for ESPN Radio. Unsportsmanlike delivers the passion every true sports fan craves. Brought to you by Floor Concepts, where design meets durability. That's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings 5 to 8 only on 102.7 The Game.
This is Travis Houltry, Foreman Watson Houltry. Major setbacks and legal predicaments can happen to anyone, but they don't have to define your future. The attorneys at Foreman Watson Holtree are dedicated to helping clients navigate complex legal dilemmas, turning what feels to be a major defeat into a decisive victory. When you're ready to fight for your recovery and turn your setback into a comeback, call Foreman Watson Holtree. Dedicated to you, committed to justice, fwhlegal.com.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Backed by popular demand, Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice is here. If John has built your pool or spa in the past and it needs service, repairs, or just a little attention, he's ready to take care of you. He'd love to hear from his former customers, and if you're new, now is the perfect time to see why his work is legendary. Call Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice at 270-316-1007. Reconnecting with customers, one pool at a time.
Hey, Chris, can you fix my leak?
Yes, we can. Hi, I'm Chris Estes, owner of Above All Roofing and Seamless Gutters. From your windows leaking air to installing new energy-efficient windows, we can do it. 313-4275. Gutters leaking, past few rain? Get new 5 or 6 inch gutters with guards. You have a roof leak? We can install a premium roof on your house or business. We have an affordable solution for all your leaks. 270-313-4275.
Need some killer custom printing? All Authentic Prints has got you covered. We're right here in Owensboro, rocking everything from screen printing and embroidery to high-tech digital designs like DTF and DTG. And guess what? We don't just stop at printing. Looking for some eye-catching signage? Whether it's banners, vehicle decals, or window decals, we're here to make your vision pop. Come on down to 2408 New Hartford Road and check us out. All Authentic Prints, your go-to spot for all your custom print needs.
My name is Kama McKinney, and I serve as the Executive Director of Chrysalis House. Far too many Kentuckians are struggling with addiction without knowing what resources are available to them. If you or a loved one are in need of a treatment center like Chrysalis House, you can call the KY Help call center at 833-8KY-HELP or visit findhelpnowky.org to find resources that are available near you. We are here, we care, and we want to help.
This is a message from Teen Kentucky, sponsored by the Office of Drug Control Policy and aired by this station.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5 brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. And as I was walking into the studios, Vic, I noticed Santa's Workshop is back in action.
It is. It's that time of year, Shelter Santa, which is always our biggest thing that we do all year long, where we get the Christmas list from all the kids that are living in shelters here in the Owensboro, Davis County area. And we have our listeners come out and adopt a kid. We give you the wish list, and you go out, and then we bring them back here. And Kristen does an amazing job wrapping them up and getting everything ready to go when we deliver them to the shelters. Always my favorite day of the year because it's just, growing up in a middle class family with mom and dad that I did, and that wasn't much that I had to want for. It's just, you get sometimes just the luck of the draw sometimes. Yes. And it's nothing that these kids that are living in these shelters did. And so to provide them with the little Christmas spirit and the miracle of Christmas and fill their wish list is important. So, if that's something that you're interested in, you can come by the studios here, see Kristen, or you can call, and they will give you a list of a young man or a young boy or girl that is living in the shelter here, and we can...
you don't even have to do the shopping if you don't want to.
No, if you don't want to, you can come in and write a check to Kristen, and Kristen and Aaron, and we'll go do the shopping for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's a great thing. Be sure and we'll be promoting it all holiday season here, Shelter Santa, in full swing here at Cromwell Radio, 1115 Tamarack Road, or give us a call over here. But on the Cromwell family of networks, you heard all bevy of different sports this weekend, but it started on Friday night with football and some, Kentucky Wesleyan men's basketball and some, and I got to start by saying, and I hope Rick takes me seriously, takes us seriously when we say, it was cool.
Oh, it was awesome
back
to
on the air.
It was awesome
was
to
like
call
a
with him
throwback.
again. Yes.
And I listened to it all the way till my game started up, and just what a tremendous job, Rick. He just went right back into broadcaster mode. There was no rust or anything.
Listen, when I say that he is legit on the Mount Rushmore of sports broadcasting in this area, that's not just lip service. He is. And it was great. I mean, he was as prepared. I had to see, hey, send me this, send me that, and we had fun. And he's such a Wesleyan guy. It took me back to when I first started in radio, where he would give me a call and be like, "Hey, I need a guy to fill in on color for me. Will you do it?" And that's how I got my start in radio. And he helped me get that TV gig that I got. It was all because of Rick Thompson, or I'd never be here with you.
Yeah.
And so it was great to see him there again.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. And the Panthers held serve on Friday night, opened with the 73-67 win over UIndy. You had Keandre Jones, 18 points, 10 boards. Plantaskis also put up 18. Fatih and Macri with 14 each for the Panthers. And Coach Cooper got his 200th career win there to open the season. Didn't carry it over, though, into yesterday as they fall to number 8, Missouri S&T. Just really got away from the Panthers late. I thought they responded out, didn't play well at all in the first half, but I really liked how they responded out of the locker room, but did not finish strong.
It really comes down to you have one play that one series that changed that whole game.
There was 2 fast breaks
yes.
late in the game where you had numbers and you just blew it. I mean, you didn't execute the fast break.
Right.
Well.
And in one of them, and you got back into it, and then you get a big steal down 54-50. You go 2-on-1. Faulkner throws the alley-oop to Jones. I don't know if he lost it going up, but the ball
never really caught it clean.
Yeah, and so when he goes to dunk it, it hits the iron and bounces straight up, and his momentum takes him where he's got the rim in his hand, and he pulls the rim down, and so then the ball comes back and goes straight through the net, and it gets waved off. The problem is they go right down, so instead of being 54-52 and the crowd going crazy, they go right down, and Benassi just hits a dagger 3 to make it a 7-point game. But I go back and they shot the ball much better in game 1 from beyond the arc, and they really struggled beyond the arc in game 2. And, I know you talked about, do they have that guy? I think
some of it was S&T's defense.
Oh, it was tremendous.
Number 8 team in the country with a lot of length.
9 guys coming back from that team last year.
Obviously length bothered them against Western. Western's 3-0 right now, looking to go 4-0 tomorrow night, and probably will before they go to the Battle of the Atlantis. But yeah, I thought the length gave him a lot of trouble.
Well, I'm going to go back to, and I was thinking about it, because Plantaskis did not shoot the ball well on Saturday, neither did Jones. They both did on Friday. Macri was another one. And I'm going to go back to 2 years ago when they had UIndy, and I can't remember the other team they played. The first 2 games, I think it was Springfield.
Yeah.
First 2 games of the season, 0-2 start. And in those games, they were combined something like 5 of 52 from behind the arc. And we're like, they got open look after open look.
But I don't see shooters. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Listen, I
think Macri
I'm just being as honest as I can be.
I think Macri and Plantaskis are shooters.
They're good. There's players that can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But
now,
is there like a Logan McIntyre?
No, this team does not have a Logan McIntyre.
Quick catch, fire type.
I don't think this team has a Logan McIntyre, but I do think Macri, Plantaskis, and Harris now had a nice game from beyond the arc. He's a guy that can shoot the 3.
Well, Harris is that Vontae is that calming presence. He had 17 and 9 yesterday.
And I think like 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
I like what he brings. He's got length. He can rebound the basketball. He's very smart. Kind of a leader on the floor, which this team needs. I guess my biggest question outside of the shooting would be the point guard spot. And I know Coach Cooper didn't seem to be fazed by it in the postgame yesterday. But in watching Drew Cooper offense, I think the point guard spot is vital to get, because it looked like last year when Kennedy would go out of the game and you kind of had, and Kavion would come into the point. It just didn't look the same. It just didn't flow. Kavion's not a point guard, and I'm looking out there, and Sanchez Ramos is a fine player, but as far as getting a team into their set, it looks disjointed sometimes, and I think that will settle in.
I thought the second half
with J.J. Faulkner coming in and running the point. I think it looks a little different. I think that's something that will change throughout the season.
I do think the second half, Sanchez Ramos and Faulkner was much better play at the point.
Sanchez Ramos is fine at the point from an offensive standpoint, but it's the getting the team into the flow of the offense that I would be concerned with. I think he's more of an off guard.
I think so.
But what do I know? Coach Cooper has 200 wins.
Right.
I have none. So,
I look at it.
He didn't seem to be fazed by it at all.
No,
So,
and I think you're in this. I think you're in the, looking at it, and we'll know more. They get a couple games, next week where they got St. Mary of the Woods that they're going to be a heavy favorite in, and I think the other one they play next week on Saturday is Delta State, which it could be Delta State's come up here. They get them two.
Yeah.
That's a good Division II team.
Yeah,
we'll know more. And then you go. Next Wednesday, you go on the road for the first time against UMSL, who's probably a top 30 team. The only disappointing thing is you had a chance to really make a statement and beat the number 8 team because you were in the game.
And they didn't play real well. I mean, I didn't think they missed a lot of layups. It was their first game of the year.
And I do think
it was an opportunity.
I thought Wesleyan's defense in the second half dictated a lot of that poor shooting from Missouri St. Louis.
It's never acceptable.
I know. No, I'm just saying. No, I just said
to lose at home.
You had a chance to make a statement.
I know, but I'm talking to myself.
I know.
That's more of me addressing me. Like, we went 1-1. This is Wesleyan basketball.
It is. We don't take 1-1 on a homestand.
Especially not at
Not was your first home loss in like a year and a half on the regular
Set the
season.
bar high because the expectations are high, and that's the way you should want them to be. But
Coach Cooper wasn't happy with that loss.
No,
he understands
he was
that.
way more upset than we were. I promise you that.
'Cause I think he knew they were in the game and had a chance.
And they didn't
with 5 minutes to go.
They didn't execute the things that they had been practicing.
With 5 minutes to go, you should have been down 54-52, playing great defense, and you let that game get out of your hands and get away from you.
I think if they just learned to trust in Cooper's offense and actually run the offense and do what he coaches them to do, they will be successful.
You could tell a difference between the second half offense and the first half offense. The first half offense was a lot of hero, dribble, take a shot at a tough shot. And I thought the offense. And then you did get, there was some series there where you got 3 straight really good looks and just couldn't get one to go down.
Yeah, we'll have to move it on. Kentucky Wesleyan women went 1-1 as well. Big overtime win on Saturday. So shout out to the women. We got the men playing Wednesday. We'll have it for you on BIO. I'll be there a little late after the Jason Moore's coaches show, but we'll have it for you on BIO. Football ended a tough season. I'm not really.
A little doinker.
What you're gonna do? Yeah. Oh man.
Doinker kick off the ground.
I held it together the whole game.
You did
pretty well.
Did the doinker.
And it was before that.
Yeah.
It was just one, just kind of snowballed on me in the fourth. But it was a tough season.
It was.
And I think it's just time to turn the page from that. And then we'll look and see. I don't even know who's back because I look at the transfer portal today. I'm already a little disheartened by some of the guys I see.
Yes.
So that until we know further, we can't really talk about it more. So we'll move it over and talk about Indiana handles Wisconsin. No shocker there. You look around.
Why are you bringing Luke Fickell back, the dumbest thing in the world?
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I mean, Navy defeats South Florida. So, that does play into the Notre Dame rolled Pitt, which was cool.
Yep. Played well.
Yeah, they did. They're playing well right now. I tell you, I
got to give my apologies to Chris Ash. I was trying to get you fired after 2 games with the defense.
Jeremiah Love, too.
That run he made on the spin move and took it to the house was unreal.
I don't know anything about who to draft, as you can see by my quarterback, but
I kind of want him in a Dallas uniform.
Man, Jeremiah Love.
He'd fit the Cowboys.
Man, he's a stud. In the ACC, still a mess, but I think it's
No, it's Virginia Tech. Virginia and Georgia Tech control their own destinies.
Right, and I think I think Virginia should beat Virginia Tech, but you never know.
They just got a new coach today, James Franklin.
Yeah. Well, again, you never know. Is he going to coach? Is he going to coach Saturday?
I doubt it.
You got Pitt at Georgia Tech. That's not just to write it in. Miami's lurking.
No, Pitt controls their own destiny. If Pitt wins their last 2 games, they're in because they get Georgia Tech and they get Miami and Florida.
What about their coach saying, this Notre Dame game doesn't matter?
Well, I know what he was trying to say for them.
Well, it's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
Whether you know what he was saying or not, it's never acceptable to talk about losses. Are okay. In the SEC, Oklahoma takes down Bama.
That kind of hurt Notre Dame a little bit because with the Miami, if Miami wins out and they got 2 losses, you're going to see this push by a lot of people that thinks Miami should be in over Notre Dame because of a game that happened 7 months ago. Listen, we've set the standard. Notre Dame didn't win a national championship when they beat Florida State head-to-head. Oklahoma got into a championship game whenever they lost a game head-to-head. And when you don't put Florida State in the playoffs when they're undefeated and you take an Alabama team with a loss, you set the playoff that who you think is the best. That's what people say it is. Notre Dame's better than Miami.
Well, Georgia is emerging for me. They smashed Texas.
Yeah, Georgia looks good.
Georgia's emerging.
And can we stop Kurt? I love you, Kurt Herbstreit. I really do. But you're in the middle of the fourth quarter where
watching.
Georgia is smashing Texas, and you're making a case for 3-loss Texas into the playoff, and people want to think that ESPN does not have the pull, the leverage. But when you say stuff like that, that gives people the credence to think that ESPN is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. You should have never even mentioned Texas in the playoffs.
Ole Miss survives Florida.
Yeah, but hey, I guess the reports come out, though, that while Lane's down there coaching at Florida, his family's down at LSU taking a tour.
It's interesting.
Do you think he pulls the trigger and leaves Ole Miss before the – you're going to have to do it before the playoffs. They can't wait till the playoffs are over.
I mean, yeah, probably. That's a Lane Kiffin move.
Maybe he can coach game 1 on December 18th or 19th and then be like, I'm out of here.
And then Kentucky handles it again. They're rolling. Kentucky's rolling. Louisville's not. So now
Kentucky's going to beat Louisville, and they're going to go 7-5, and they're going to build a statue of Mark Stoops, and he's going to be here for the next 25 years.
Stoops has got me coming back into the Stoops camp.
Yeah.
Stoops has got me coming back into the Stoops camp because the way the team has reacted to Stoops. Because I think that goes a long way. I think when your players love you the way they do, it's hard to deny that. I mean, yes, it feels like time. It's like a Mike Tomlin situation.
You're paying them to love you.
No, I disagree.
No,
there.
I agree.
I disagree.
I do
there.
agree. Like I have to give him
you
his
listen
props.
to like Cutter Bowley's comments, and like they love Stoops. Like look at when they win the games, like how they rally around Stoops.
I give Stoops his props. These guys have played hard for him all year long. But the worst.
It does it not look different with the competent quarterback though?
Oh, it does.
Like you've missed on quarterback. Stoops obviously has shown that he has a terrible track record at picking QBs for the most part, right? But now Cutter Bowley comes along, he's starting to develop, and you have a competent offense to go. And Stoops always has a good defense. They compete in the SEC. So, I mean, you have to look at it from that angle and say, okay, if Bowley's back and Stoops is back and
he'll bring his entire staff back.
It's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, they're going to go
the
5.
Way they
they're going to go 5-7 next year.
You can't deny it.
They're going to go 5-7 next year. You're going to just be stuck in mediocrity.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Listen, it was a great
but there is something to it, though.
It has been a great bounce back against a really weak part of the back end of the schedule. Hey, great bounce back. You're going to be stuck at 5-7, 6-6, 7-5 for history.
You think there's this there, and there history would tell you there is a ceiling.
100%.
But I mean, at least to me, if Stoops comes back, I at least have interest in what happens next with Cutter Bowley. Like I feel like that step he's taken is a step I didn't think he was going to take.
I think the majority of UK fans, if they win out, will probably have a little bit of excitement for next year because of Bowley.
If they, of course, you got to beat Vandy first. This thing could go sideways. This is just today. This thing could still go sideways again.
No, I'm going to tell you right now. Whether he goes 0-2, 1-1, or 2-0, he's back next year.
Oh, I don't think so.
I do.
No,
100%.
If they go 0-2 to close the season,
and they go 5-7,
no one remembers today. No one today is completely. It feels like 20 years ago. Today.
If he goes 0-2, mark my words, Stoops will be back. The Kentucky's not going to buy. Mitch is not going to pay that money.
The Kentucky fans will be so restless by that point. I think that
because they're going to pitch to what you did. Hey, they kept playing hard. We got Cutter Bowley. The offense was competent.
Don't matter.
Just to tell you, Stoops is back no matter what. Nope. If they can go 0-2, he's back. Mark my words.
I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Me
we'll be right back here. Talk a little NFL here live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
If hunger's calling you, go to Moonlight Barbecue.
When lives are changed due to injuries or death resulting from personal injuries, aggressive legal representation is critical.
Satisfied and on your way. It's down on Parish Avenue. That's Moonlight Barbecue.
I'm Karen Gross, realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Congratulations to Tiffany and Braxton and their family on their new home. Wishing you lots of happiness and new memories. If you're ready to buy or sell, call or text me at 270-315-9810. To view all area listings, my website is karengross.net. I'm Karen Gross, and your dream is my mission. 270-315-9810.
Hi, Hi, I'm Robert Edge with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. As you gather with loved ones, remember, we're here to protect what matters most, standing with you through all seasons. Call me, 270-683-1715. Thank you.
Safety is key when replacing an outlet, so leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Getting sick was not on my to-do list today. 3 conference calls, the kids have practice, and we need groceries. Who has time for a sinus infection? Fortunately, Owensboro Health Urgent Care offers convenient virtual visits. No long lines or waiting rooms, just quality health care from anywhere that works for me. Now that fits my schedule.
For life's ups and downs, choose Owensboro Health Urgent Care. Start your virtual visit at owensborohealth.org.
Need electrical services? Call Bailey Electric. Serving Western Kentucky since 2002. We handle commercial, agricultural, and residential needs. With over 50 years of experience, we're licensed, insured, and ready to help. Bailey Electric, your trusted local electricians.
Hey, it's Johnny Calhoun of Calhoun's Barbershop. Come see us at 452 East 18th Street. We're here early, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5:30, Saturday, 7 to noon. And as always, we don't want to be everybody's barber. We just want to be your barber at Calhoun's Barbershop.
When getting the job done right is job one. Unique construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator. The Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Check us out today at Hagen's Outdoor Equipment with 3 locations to serve you. Highway 54 in Philpott, Salem Drive in Owensboro, and Power Machinery on Highway 41 in Hanson. We appreciate your business.
Van Atten's award-winning Pitmaster barbecue sauce. From backyard grills to big events, they make it pit perfect every time. Their food truck and catering can bring the flavor straight to you. And here's a thank you to our hometown heroes. With valid ID, veterans, police, firefighters, and EMS get a free drink with a purchase at the food truck. See where they're serving next, shop the sauce, and book your event at VanAttensBarbecue.com. And follow Van Atten's Pitmaster barbecue sauce on Facebook. Van Atten's, where flavor wins.
Looking for more storage in your kitchen and want to use the space above your cabinets? Well, Cabinet Doors and More can help with their pre-made 12-inch cabinets, ready to go. If that doesn't work for you, Cabinet Doors and More can build what you need. Just bring in your measurements and they work with you to design what you're looking for. Cabinet Doors and More off Highway 54 in Fordsville. That's why we are worth the drive. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Cabinet Doors and More.
Looking for quality tools, building supplies, and equipment for your next project? Visit Miller Building Supply, Seabury Hardware and Rental, or the Providence Home Center. Owned and operated by Opie and Leslie Parrish, they have a friendly staff with great selection and everything you need to make your next home improvement dream a reality.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Don't forget, after us, Beyond the Bench, and then right into Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Raiders. Should be
it's an interesting Beyond the Bench. A lot of high school scrimmage talk and some other things, and then them two arguing back and forth. And it was interesting.
Still counting the votes of that Davis County Eastern scrimmage.
They are. I mean, they're it's worse than some
teams saw they won the game.
It's been
leave it to the judges.
Yeah, it's worse county than Arizona and the suburbs of Atlanta. I'll say that. But I will say the interesting part was, and just to tease it, I thought Coach Payne's take on UK basketball and their guards, very interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, you can tune in just a minute here Beyond the Bench. Just stay right here on the game. Let's move it over to the NFL. Starting the AFC, we're going to run through this. I'll go game by game. You give me your thoughts. Broncos defeat the Chiefs. Broncos moved to 9-2. Chiefs to 5-5. Their AFC West title hopes are over. Not that it matters.
They better get in the playoffs.
But right now, the other on the outside looking in, Knicks looked good yesterday, and Mahomes really struggled.
The Chiefs' window is officially closed until they recapture some things.
I don't think it's ever closed. Just get them in the postseason at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to make the postseason.
It's looking interesting for sure. The Jaguars routed the Chargers yesterday. And so you got the Chiefs sitting there at 5-5. Chargers are 7-4. Jags are 6-4. So they're right there in the mix. But the Chargers are Jekyll and Hyde, man. And granted, up front, anytime you take away Harbaugh's bread and butter, that offensive line, struggle a little bit.
You took your two guys that you built your offense around, your two tackles, and they're both out. And then I know they traded for the Saints tackle. Was it Pennington or
Penning? Yeah,
I don't know if he's played yet, and he was on the back end of his career too.
Right? Yeah, he wasn't great in New Orleans.
So and you're going across from San Diego. I think that game was in Jacksonville. You go across the country. It had the makings of just a throwaway game for them, and that's what it played like.
Yeah, in the North, it holds serve. Ravens and Steelers both hold serve and win. Even though I'm surprised because Shador came in. I can't believe that the Browns didn't find a way to win that game yesterday. But
I did see what they announced today. He was going to be on the Ring of Honor next week. They're putting the Ring of Honor up there. Here's what I want to know. If it's all those Cleveland people said that it was always just because of who he was, that the only reason he wasn't playing, and that all this going on, all this crap you saw on social media, maybe he wasn't playing because he's just not very good.
Well, yeah.
Could be.
Remember there was a time where the Vikings reporters were all over Zimmer for not playing Kellen Mond, and he was like, don't you want to see him? And Zimmer's like, I see him in practice every day.
Every day.
And sure enough, we see where Mond is now.
Listen, none of these coaches are out there going, you know what, this guy can help me win, but I'm not playing him because I don't like him.
Stefanski, who's probably on his way out, unfortunately.
I think he stays.
I hope so. I think he should stay. I think it's the front office.
They didn't want him. Go back to the draft and look at Barry and Stefanski's face whenever that pick is made. That was, once again, the owner getting involved when he shouldn't.
Yeah, you got it's just another week before the Steelers are fending off the Ravens, who are hot on their trail, even though they
How long is Rodgers out for?
I don't know. I mean, he's not completely for sure out against the Bears.
It's a broken left hand, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't
tape it up and play. Yeah, if Jack Ham can play on Jack Lamb can play on a broken leg, tape it up and play.
Yeah, I think we'll see. Maybe he might miss a week. Bills handled the Bucks. Bucks having a hard time. I think it's safe to say the Bucks are pretenders. At this point.
They are,
and that's unfortunate. But Vic, I think you owe Josh Allen and the Bills an apology. You close the door on them in every week.
No, that window's still closed. They're not winning. They're not even going to win the division.
Maybe not.
Listen, they beat a crappy Bucks team, man. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
Bucks aren't crappy. The Bucks are
they're pretenders.
Right there in the upper echelon.
They're pretenders.
There's a lot of pretenders in the NFC.
You know who also is pretenders? The Bills. They're pretenders.
That's fair enough. I'm going to disagree with you. I think Josh Allen keeps them in the mix in any game that he plays in. The Panthers are only one game back.
Yes.
Of Tampa. Do you remember when Bryce Young played that first year?
They set him in the end of the year.
Yeah, you remember that? Mm-hmm. You old enough to remember?
I do. I probably called him a
Vikings
bust.
Fans about that. Yeah. And remember, C.J. Stroud was just so much better than he was.
Yeah.
And now he threw for 400 yards yesterday.
Well, the one thing they went out and got a coach who one coach wants big, tall quarterbacks, and you draft this guy.
Yeah.
And then they went out and found a guy that wants him to be quarterbacking and the draft and all that. All goes back to the coach and the offensive coordinator. And that's why you should never, ever hire a defensive coordinator.
Because O'Connell's scheming guys open all day, and JJ just throwing it out to Sargo. All those memes you saw about Kirk Cousins and his accuracy, but that's JJ.
But I'm not saying every last one of them. Maybe just JJ's not very good.
It's breaking my heart. I'm not out on him yet.
No, it's way too. Look at people that were out on Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
Don't know if I have the stomach to make it through it though. Like that yesterday was hard to watch, man. It's going to be long.
Can you go back and look? Can I ask you a question? Just go back and look at some of the first year stats and games of Peyton Manning and John Elway.
Yeah, but he didn't have Jefferson and Addison just running wide open either. I mean, these guys are running wide open. I mean, it's not on O'Connell. I blamed O'Connell a little last week because he got away from the run. We'll see, man.
Get him in the offseason, get his footwork right.
I don't know ball. I do know that the Rams beat the Seahawks. The Vikings should have re-signed Sam Don. Oh, he threw 4 interceptions in a big game.
He did.
Didn't he? $40 million. Yeah, that's what I thought. So are we sure? We still sure about that one. I'm wondering. But the Rams get the win. They look like, to me, the best team in the NFC right now.
I think the Rams are the best team in football, going to win the Super Bowl.
The Niners are 7-4. They're playing a bad schedule, but they're beating the teams they're supposed to.
They are, right? And they're finding a way with everybody hurt.
Is the newness and the coolness of Dan Campbell going for it on every single fourth down wearing off. Because when I fell asleep watching the game last night because it was unwatchable, Dan Campbell was 0 of 5 on fourth downs last night.
Now,
and he left about 9 points on the field when they were in field goal range. So,
well, first of all, I'm not sure with that win.
In the game.
I know I'm not sure with that win. I don't know if you saw the kick where the guy got the penalty.
Yes,
and had to like that win, they weren't automatic.
No, they weren't.
I didn't
but a
mind
couple of them were
I didn't mind the first one. I thought the fake punt was dumb. Now, a couple other ones were late in the game where you had to score a touchdown and go for it.
Are you starting to come over to my side on Jared Goff a little bit? Maybe?
Nah.
Kind of like Yar on Jordan Love?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No,
He looked pretty terrible under pressure.
No, we'll just see. But
he looked as bad as McCarthy did last night.
He was throwing it all over the place. They had trouble with the wind. He had trouble with everything.
Yeah, and he had guys running open too. But nevertheless, it's always fun to come in. Still going to represent the purple.
There you go. Just be ready for like a Rams-Colts Super Bowl.
Let's do it. It's different. I'll take it. We'll see you tomorrow. Dave and company will have you tomorrow live at 5.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for sponsoring the preceding broadcast. FWHlegal.com. Tune in next time for Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game.
Guys have underestimated me my entire life. And for years, I never understood why. It used to really bother me. But then one day, I was driving my little boy to school, and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said,